Okay, so let's get started. The first thing that white is going to do here is that he's first going to use his king to try to take away as many squares as possible from the black king. So the strategy is still the same. We're going to mirror the opponent's black king, or we're going to try to get as close as possible to take away squares or ranks. So white plays king to e2, king e3, and notice how by following this plan, the white king now is on the 4th rank and takes away some key squares from the black king. After king d6, now we need the help of the pieces. What white is going to do is that he's going to use both bishops to try to take away more squares from the king, and then once again later, when the bishops are optimized, he could use the king to finalize the game. So bishop to e3, taking away the c5 square from the king, king c6, bishop c4. Notice how both bishops coordinate, and now the key squares are taken away from the black king. Here we've reached a very illustrative position because we see how both bishops are taking away key squares, and it may seem like the pieces have reached their optimal potential. But now it's black to move, and black plays king to c6, and all we have to do here is repeat the process. We simply improve the king to take away more squares from the black king, and that will eventually corner the opponent and we'll be able to reach the checkmating position. So white plays king to e5, king d7. Now we use the bishops, optimizing the placement of the bishops, bishop d5, king c7, bishop c5. Notice that the king now has less squares to move to. King d7, bishop d6, king d8, and bishop e6. So here we once again have reached another milestone in this position. What is going on here? Notice that both bishops are taking away all the squares away from the king, and now the black king is limited only to 2 squares. But how do we checkmate? Once again, we optimize the placement of our king, and we'll be able to win the position as quickly as possible. So now white plays king to f6. King to e8, king to f6, king to d8. All we do is a waiting move. Bishop e5, king e8. What white is trying to do is he's going to try to push the king to the corner of the board and eventually win. So we play bishop to c7. Notice that the square is taken away from the king, so the king has to move over. Bishop to d7, taking away the e8 square. King g8. Now we have the option of playing king to g6, king to f8, bishop d6 check, king g6, bishop e6 check, and after king h8 and bishop e5 check, white has won the game. The strategy is very simple. Simply take away as many squares and keep on improving your pieces. All you have to do is to go over this example a couple of times, practice it over the board, and you'll be able to win every time this position arises.